Good morning and welcome to Live at the Legislature, where every week we interview members of the House Majority Democrats on issues and bills being discussed at the Hawaii State Legislature. This morning, we're lucky to have two representatives with us. We have Representative Daniel Holt, District 29, that's Kalihi, Palama, Iwalei, and Chinatown. He's also the Vice Chair of the House Tourism and International Affairs Committee. And we have Representative Della Belatti, District 24, Makiki, Macaulay, Tantalus, and parts of Manoa. And she is also the majority leader in the House of Representatives. Good morning, and thank you both for being here.
Good morning.
Representative Holt, I'd like to start with you. Your areas are Chinatown and Iwalei. There is a lot of homeless in that area, and there are a lot of concerns about COVID-19 and how that affects the businesses and residents. And recently, the IHS, the homeless facility, tried to expand into Chinatown, and there was a lot of pushback against that. Can you tell us what happened there? What was that facility and what went on?
Thank you, James. Even before the proposed facility was thought of, our businesses in Chinatown were already struggling with a homeless problem. We're trying to figure out a way to, get people back down there. And when the COVID hit, because it came from China, we faced even a bigger problem because people associated it with Chinatown. IHS received some funding from the federal government, to try to keep our community safe, keep the homeless people who had COVID out of the public's view. So they had proposed a facility on Beretania Street where the lay shops are. And with the $2.6 million from the federal government, they proposed a 6-bed homeless triage facility right in the middle of our community. There are 5,000 residents across the street, and there are a lot of longtime local businesses, the lay shops, the nail salons. And to further compound on our homeless problem in Chinatown would have been very unfortunate. Luckily, I got together with our area legislators, Council Member Fukunaga, Senator Rhodes, and we sent a letter expressing our concerns along with many of our community members. And Governor Abercrombie was on board, a lot of the restaurants in the area, and thankfully, the community's concerns, and they have scrapped the plans for 65 North Beretania. I understand we do have an issue with the homeless, and we do need to find some place to put them, but that area was just not fitting for our community. So I'd like to thank IHS very much for being receptive to the community, and I'd like to thank our community members too for coming together and joining together to show that it's just too much for us already. And I'm just very thankful for everybody, and it just shows what we can do when communities come together, and it shows what happens when our government listens to our communities as well. And you don't have to be adversaries. We can work together in these sections. So I look forward to working with IHS to find a suitable spot for their new facility.
I see. So even though it's not going in, it worked out in the situation, and they're now looking for someplace else. Is that correct?
Yes, we do need to have a facility to house these people who are less fortunate. And everybody says, not in my backyard. Fortunately and unfortunately for me, I realize that they're not going to go anywhere. They're in my community. We have to help them. So we have a lot of services down in the Iwalei area. So we're looking down there now. But, we have to stay open, and nobody wants them right across the street from their house, but they have to go somewhere. So we'll definitely be finding a suitable spot.
That sounds good. It sounds like a good compromise. On a totally different issue, because you are the vice chair of the tourism committee, we're starting to think about the return of tourism and bringing people back into our state. Do you have any concerns about that? Any ideas of how that could be, how people could fly in, how that could work as the tourism base?
We have a unique situation, the contiguous United States, they're going to struggle once, they couldn't really close down their border. Us and Alaska, we have an opportunity. Alaska has been a great leader, and I think we could follow in their footsteps. They are requiring a test within 3 to 5 days. And flying into Alaska, we could do something. If they don't have a test, they're required to pay for one upon arrival. But we are in a very unique situation where we do need to open soon because our economy relies on tourism.
Yeah.
Everybody talks about, and I agree, we do need to diversify, but it won't be as fast as we need. We're going to need tourism to dig us out of this hole, but we do have an opportunity to make it work for us. Before the pandemic hit, we were facing an issue of over-tourism, where we were too crowded, and we're overtaxing our natural resources. We're pushing out our rent. So we're probably never going to be able to get back to maximum capacity. So we do have an opportunity to get the higher spending tourists to come back. We will need to make it a little bit more expensive for them because we're not going to be able to pack them in at 95% anymore. But it will work for the locals as well. Our beaches will be less crowded. Our hikes will be less trashed. And I think we can try to get the responsible tourists, high spending, responsible tourists who's going to come back and really take care of our communities like our residents.
Sounds good. It sounds like
although it will be a struggle, I think we do have great opportunities.
Yeah, taking a look and doing it right. Now, Rep. Belatti, I don't want to ignore you here, and we only have a couple minutes left. We have an important question for you. I understand that the session may reconvene soon, and I was wondering when that might be and what the priorities will be for the House.
Thanks, James. We haven't quite finalized the calendar at the moment, but we are looking at reconvening soon. Announcement will be made later today about that. I think it's really important. Some of the things that Representative Holt just mentioned, the kind of coordination that needs to happen at the city and state levels as we continue to roll out, the kind of thought we have to put into reopening the community. We're not going to be taking up some of those longer term issues. We're still going to be looking at kind of more the emergency type legislation, the budgetary matters that we need to settle that were left a little bit unfinished at the last reconvening that we did, and we reconvened on May 22nd, we recessed on March 17th. We came back May 11th through May 22nd. So we're going to come back for another opportunity. But again, it's to deal with some of the issues, to start the long-term planning, to lay the foundation for moving forward.
Okay, well, it sounds like we'll see what happens later today, and we'll have another go at making things right for our state and getting the bills and laws passed we need to. Well, we've basically run out of time, so I want to thank you both for being here, Representative Daniel Holt and Representative Della. Della. Okay.
Thanks, James.
Thanks.
Bye.
What are you doing? We have to go. I'm gonna be late for work.
It's Tuesday morning. I gotta record live at the legislature on Alelo. Senate and House leadership discussing what's happening at the state capitol.
So just watch it on the news tonight. Come on, let's go.
Hey, this is like getting the news before it's news. If only I could get this remote to work.
There. Can we go now?
No DVR? No problem. Watch Wednesday evenings at 7 p.m. on Channel 49.